This video will provide an explanation of the SignSure Forms feature. SignSure Forms is a premium feature which is not activated for free account users. SignSure gives you the ability to prepare and send two different document types, an agreement and a form. When you select to prepare and send a request using an agreement, each of the signers you select in the Signers section will be asked to sign the same document. So when the process is complete, there will be one document that contains each signer's signature. SignSure Forms provides you the ability to send the same document to several people for their signature in one simple process. Each document sent using SignSure Forms can only be signed by one person, so each person you identify in the Signer section of the Request Detail page will receive a separate document to sign. When the process is completed using SignSure Forms, you will have a separate signed document for each signer you identified. A great example of a request you would use SignSure Forms for is a class permission slip. Currently, a teacher sends home a separate slip with each student for their parent to sign. When these slips are returned, the teacher has a separate signed copy from each individual parent. SignSure Forms allows that same teacher to prepare one document or permission slip and send it simultaneously to each parent identified in the Signer section of the Request Detail page. Each parent will receive a separate document for their signature, and when the process is completed, the teacher will have a separate signed document from each parent stored in the document management system. Let's walk through the process. You can choose to either use a template or start from scratch using SignSure Forms. For this example, we will show the process using a template. So I will press the Prepare and Send Using Template button. This brings you to the template list page, where you can either select an existing template or press the Create Edit Templates button in the top right corner of the page to create a new template. For this example, we will use the Permission Form template. As you can see, when you press the line containing the Permission Form label, we go to the Request Detail page where the permission form has already been attached as a prepared document. If you press the View Edit Attached Document button in the lower right corner of the page, you can see the document you're sending and the location of the signature, date, and text boxes used in this request. Press the arrow at the top left corner of the page to return to the Request Detail page. You can see that the template name has automatically been entered into the subject line near the top of the page. If it's likely that this template will be used again for another SignSure Form request, it's helpful to add some detail to the subject line to differentiate this request from others in the document management system. To provide this detail, I will add today's date to the subject line. Next, you add the name and email addresses of anyone you want the request to be sent to. To enter these names, I will press the Add from Contacts button and select the names from my contacts list. If there are any special instructions you wish to add to the request for the signers, you can type these into the Message Special Instructions box. Next, you have the option of using SignSure's Expiration of Offer feature to place a deadline on the request. Simply press the On/Off toggle switch to activate this feature and enter either the period of time or specific date and time of your deadline and press Done. Lastly, you have the option of requiring video verification of the signer in your request. If you wish to require video verification, simply press the On/Off toggle switch located in this box. If you need to save your work to finish later, you can press the Save as Draft button. Otherwise, when the request is ready to send, simply press the Finish and Send button. Each time you press the Finish and Send button, SignSure will ask you to confirm the request before sending. If everything is correct, press the OK button and the request will be sent. Because each signer receives a separate document to sign, a separate line item is shown for each signer in the Current Activity section on the home screen. Each line item shows the subject of the request, the deadline for completion of that request, and the number of days remaining before that deadline expires. Pressing the document line for this request takes you to the Request Detail page, which shows all of the details as you entered them when preparing the request. Pressing the arrow in the top left corner of this page will return to the document management system. Completed documents appear separately in the Completed Activity section of the document management system. It's likely that a request using SignSure Forms will go to several people and create several line items in the Completed Activity section when the documents are signed and returned. To assist in organizing these documents, SignSure automatically creates a folder when a request is sent using SignSure Forms. The folder name matches the subject line of the request. When a signer completes and returns a document, that document is automatically placed in this folder. Simply press the folder line to open the folder and display each document line separately. I've taken a short break and completed all of the documents were sent to show how they appear in the document management system. As you can see, there's a folder with the name matching the document subject line. When you press the folder title, the folder opens up to display all of the documents it contains. Pressing any of the document lines in this folder opens up the Completed Document Detail page. This page displays the details of the request as well as the buttons allowing you to view the document, view the video verification if it was required, and email or print your document. Pressing the View Document button displays the completed document. Pressing the arrow at the top left returns you to the Completed Document Detail page. Along the bottom of the page are the buttons that will either send an email with the document attached in a PDF file or print the document. Because this request was made using SignSure Forms, the document is already stored in a folder. However, you can also use the Add to Folder button to put the document in a different new or existing folder. This covers the basic overview of sending a signature request using SignSure Forms. Please continue watching the tutorial videos to gain a better understanding of how to use this powerful system.